AITA for refusing to host Thanksgiving for 20-plus people for the fourth year in a row? So my fiancé has a rather large family. Parents. 2 brothers with significant others. Numerous adult nieces and nephews and their partners, and there's usually always some distant aunt, uncle or cousin that tags along. I have 2 family members that join holidays. This year neither will be able to attend. Last year one was present. So for the past 4 years I've been single-handedly cooking from scratch and hosting for both Thanksgiving and Christmas. So essentially I've been cooking dinner for 20 people or so while my partner babysits a brisket in the smoker. There's a lot of logistics behind cooking for a large crowd. I start prepping the night before, cook all morning and afternoon, and by the time everything is done I'm too exhausted to enjoy the food I cooked and eat. Last year I requested that everyone attending brings one side dish or dessert. No one brought anything. I had a feeling that's what it was going to be, as no one mentioned what they're bringing, so I prepared for it anyway. Just to also mention, I have never been thanked for hosting or cooking. Literally by no one. All leftovers get picked over and taken home. Last year I also had to cook the following day because there was nothing left to eat except some baked brie that my mill turned her nose up to. And I wanted to enjoy leftovers at least. This year I told my partner that I have no intention of cooking. If he wanted to host, he can cater. His reaction was, "But that's our tradition. Can't you at least make some boxed stuffing or something, and everyone is planning on coming?" My reaction was, "Nope, that's your tradition. I will not make boxed stuffing, and, if they're planning on coming, you better put that catering order in." He has not spoken to me since. I also had to explain, and I shouldn't have to, that I haven't been feeling well. I finished an 8-month course of a pretty rough medication that dries out all the joints in your body. I've been achy and miserable, and I feel stiff when I overwork myself. AITA for not wanting to entertain 20-plus people twice a year. Every year? I have decided to possibly sit out Thanksgiving completely. Buy a pre-made single-serving Thanksgiving dinner at the local grocery store that just needs to be popped in the oven for a while, and going to watch that new Lady Gaga movie. Edit. Guys, my partner found this post and sent me the link. Now apparently we're canceling everything because I'm venting to strangers on the internet. I guess he didn't like what he read. Oops. NTA et al. You have put so much work into a family gathering and never got any form of gratitude. Does your partner know the amount of work that goes into cooking such a big dinner? Do they know the reason why you want to stop? If the answer is yes to both those questions, your partner and their family gets the big YTA. NTA. I bet they leave you to clean everything up too. Face with rolling eyes. NTA. And catering is a perfectly valid and logistically easy compromise. Double NTA. 4 years running. Have some silver, and I hope you enjoy the fuck out of Lady Gaga and Adam Driver and eat a bunch of delicious food all for yourself. NTA et al. And honestly, I hate to be that Reddit person, but I'd be having some conversations before I marry that person. If your fiancé is not considerate of what you need versus what he and his family wants, and also not pulling his weight now, will he as a partner when you're married? An important distinction is that you did not say, "We can't host a dinner." You said, "You need to be the one to do it this year if you want it because I'm tired," and he balked. NTA. So his Thanksgiving tradition is, we pick one woman who's been brought into the family. We tell her that her partner is hosting Thanksgiving. Then we load her with all the responsibility for hosting and catering. We don't help or thank her. Her partner isn't allowed to do anything apart from barbecue duties because his penis will fall off. But what can you do? It's tradition. Yeah. Fuck that. If it's so important to your fiancé, he can host and cook. If he's that incapable, then he needs to stop volunteering. Go a step further. Rent a hotel room for a week or stay with a friend. Make sure that if he goes through with hosting, he's not only left with full responsibility for catering and hosting, he also has to clean up by himself. Edit. Op. I just saw your edit about your fiancé seeing this post. I encourage you to follow your plans regardless. Thanksgiving is going to be nasty if you don't. Please don't subject yourself to any more of that. Orange heart. P.S. OP's fiancé. You really suck so far at this whole being a fiancé thing. Improve. And fast Dom. Do something nice and apologize instead of bitching that she felt so alone she had to talk to a bunch of strangers to realize that she wasn't the arsehole. You did that. You fucked her over. Stop it. This sexist idea that women have to do 100% of the work is ridiculous and has to end. Say no. Flat out no. And let your so figure it out for himself. And it's okay if he's upset. Let him be upset. Let him feel his feelings. Let him call the caterer. Or not, don't rescue him. He won't learn if you keep doing everything for him. Check out this article on weaponized incompetence. https www.instyle.com/lifestyle/weaponized-incompetence-defined. NTA. ETA. Are you sure you want to marry into this awful family? It's bizarre that nobody thanked you. Bizarre. And you requested that people bring a dish or dessert. And nobody did? What a bunch of weirdos. NTA. I am not understanding why they did not bring anything when you asked. He probably loves to feel like BMOC and hosting. Calmly explain it is just too much for you alone. Then write up a list of what the meal consists of. Hand it to him and let me know he needs to call everyone and assign a dish to them. I too was cooking for over 20 people several years in a row. I finally made a list of the meal I wanted. These 3 sides times 2. These 3 dessert times 2. Appetizers times 2. And sent an email to the entire group. Here is a list for Thanksgiving. I made it easy for you all. I will be making the turkey. And that's it. Talk amongst yourselves. Decide who is bringing what. If you don't bring it, we will not have it. Do not ignore the times 2, because with 20 people, 1 pan of any of the above will not be enough for all. I love you all. But gain. I will not be providing anything more than the turkey as this year. I would like to enjoy the meal with you all versus serving everyone all day. My Mill apologized for not realizing others were not chipping in. She always brought a ham and whipped everyone into shape, including the adult nephews and nieces. It's worked out wonderfully since then. Or if hubby is set on hosting, you were right to tell him to call for catering. Besides restaurants, several grocery stores offer full meal catering for the holidays, but he is probably pushing a deadline by now. Good luck. Completely NTA. You've never once been thanked. Had an offer of help and had people blatantly ignore your request for support. You gave these people a chance to make the tradition sustainable. They chose not to take it. Take care of yourself or see if you can join a friend instead. NTA. Your BF and his whole family are. BF needs to be doing more than just the brisket. He could prep and make side dishes. That family should be bringing dishes too. It's very time-consuming and expensive to cook for that many people. Don't marry until you take a long, hard look at this relationship. He isn't even concerned about your health. Get rid of him and his family tradition. Find a true helpmate who loves and respects you. Can we please get an update on this after the holiday? I'm very emotionally invested in this. NTA Holy cow lady. First of all, you're a literal saint. That is just so much work. And the medication aside, that's just not a fair burden to put on one person. JFC. And the fact that none of them have ever thanked you makes my blood boil with the rage of 1,000 burning suns. You are not a chef and you are not a maid. It is not your job to deal with a family that is not even yours for 2 holidays back to back for 4 years. And while I don't want to yell, dump him, I really want you to ask yourself if you want to be with someone who acts like you are a servant for his entire family. A man who doesn't even thank you. His family doesn't even thank you. That's an indication of a larger problem. You have done for his family what most partners would not do. But I also feel like it shows such a blatant lack of respect, appreciate for you, your time, your energy, your effort, and also is just like insane entitlement. It's just too much work to ask anyone to do. But to have them do it and you don't thank them or help them or buy them a massage the following day? Is this someone you really want to be married to? Is this the family that you want to be stuck with for all future holidays? I also really don't like how your boyfriend is trying to deflect this. This is your tradition. This is yours. No, it's not. No doubt you started doing it to try and feel connected to the family and as a nice gesture. But this is a family of 18 people and they have no one else who is capable of hosting Thanksgiving and Christmas? No one thinks to say, oh no op. You did Thanksgiving, we're doing Christmas this year. It's not your tradition. You're being strong-armed into doing it. Do they mean to tell me that this family had absolutely zero traditions for 2 holidays before you came along? They're taking advantage of you. Your partner is taking advantage of you. And being angry at you for setting a boundary? After already doing so much for a family that is not yours. And now he's giving you the silent treatment because he didn't like that you said no. All of this is red flag, emotionally abusive behavior. The silent treatment is just such emotional blackmail. I just want his phone number so that we can have a little chat. You are not a servant. You are not a caterer. You are not a chef. You deserve to actually enjoy the holidays. You deserve to be able to feel safe when you say no. No is a complete sentence. Do you really want to be with someone who expects you to host every major holiday for 20 people? That's just not what loving partners do. Please stand firm on this. If he has an issue with you setting a perfectly reasonable and understandable boundary, then this is not a great omen for a life together. You are clearly a very generous and loving person. It's incredibly selfless to have done as much as you did for your partner's family. And I can't imagine how much it hurt to not receive so much as an ounce of gratitude. You deserve so much more from a partner. Not someone who tries to manipulate you into completely mental and physical exhaustion. There are 20 other people who can host a damn holiday. Someone sure as hell did before they had you to steamroll you into being their staff member. Your BF has no empathy or compassion for the drain this is on you. Are you sure your wants, needs are being met? Because I'm reading that you're giving to the point of burnout and not getting so much as a thank you in return. Do not give into his emotional blackmail. In fact, I would just act unbothered by this childish behavior. You do you. Treat yourself to a spa day that weekend. Hit the Black Friday sales. Stay in your PJs all week. Get 10 hours of sleep a night. Do yoga. Do a face mask. Go on a nice walk. Get a mani-pedi. Eat as much ice cream as you want. Treat yourself. Pamper yourself the way that you deserve to be pampered by a And after you do something nice for yourself, thank yourself. It sounds cheesy, I know. And see how good it feels to be appreciated. Do not even think about him that week. This is your time. He can be a child and it's not your problem. Go stay with a friend or a family member if you want to get away. Make yourself the priority. Because you deserve nothing less. Can't they at least rotate the tradition? Shameless, really. I'd really reconsider my relationship if my significant other ignored my plights and does stuff like that. Dumb question. What on earth did they do for the holidays before you were in the picture? The petty side of me says that you should put out a mass text stating that you are cooking the turkey and only the turkey, and they will bring something to the table, because if they don't, turkey is all they will see. NTA, and good luck with this smile. NTA. Your BF and his whole family are rude. Entitled jerks. Don't put yourself through this. Tell him that it's someone else's turn to host. Why can't his mother or any of the myriad of relatives that come mooch off of you do that cooking at their place? Your decision-making process and your boundaries seems super healthy. Enjoy your single-serve meal, and maybe you can start a new tradition where you do the brisket and your husband can do the rest. Info. Who hosted Thanksgiving dinner in the years before you came along, and why did this huge undertaking fall squarely on your lap only? NTA. Obviously. Man. I'm so pissed for you. NTA. Your alternative Thanksgiving plans sound wonderful. I mean, if your partner doesn't want to cater, he can tell everyone to bring something and see how that works out. My husband is one of 8 kids, and until last year we were the only ones with a home or the means. We hosted Thanksgiving and Christmas for years because I like the tradition and typically don't mind the insanity and the 20-plus people coming and making a mess. However, now there are family issues that are now making it a logistics nightmare, to say the least. Think family in shifts, so dinner is now going to be people coming hours apart, so it will be 10 hours of hosting. I told my husband I will do Thanksgiving, but I'm already tired thinking about it, so I told him I wouldn't be doing Christmas. I had some surgery and am just slower recently, so the cleaning alone is exhausting. My husband instantly said, "You're right. We won't do it." He does certain parts of the cleaning and cooking, but it is a very me event to put together. But the minute I said too much, he backed that. Try to talk to your partner again. Explain the cleaning, the cooking, the exhaustion, and if he doesn't hear you, then you gaga with no shame in peace. NTA. For the record, mental health and physical health are more important. NTA. Your fiancé and his family are very inconsiderate. He does not even care about your health. They are also taking you for granted by assuming you will cater their feast without an invitation, or even bringing anything, and you didn't say, but I bet they don't help clean up. That includes your fiancé. Good for you for putting a stop to this before you are married. NTA. I am so familiar with having a family of ungrateful moochers. I am turning 21 this year. And for the past 20 years my mother has basically single-handedly hosted Christmas and Thanksgiving every singe year with zero help. Though she loves hosting and cooking, which is why she started doing it in the first place, it was always so much stress. Nobody offered to come help cook, bring anything, or even clean up. She barely even got to enjoy the food herself, since she was always so focused on catering to everyone. They all came with nothing, ate all my mom's wonderful food, took leftovers, and left. For 20 years. Now we love our family, and those gatherings hold a lot of fond memories. But family can be exhausting and stressful, and not to mention ungrateful. When my family decided we were doing an intimate Thanksgiving and Christmas over COVID last year. It was the best holidays ever. No stress. We all cooked together and listened to music and ate in our pajamas. People were pissed. But my mom couldn't do it anymore, and you shouldn't have to either. I completely understand. You should really talk to your husband and let him know how much this really takes a toll. It's really not that hard for him to ask his family to bring some fucking potatoes or something. Think about if that's the kind of family you want to have. 'Cause holidays are forever. Sending love op. I hope you can have a peaceful and loving holiday no matter what.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.